This video is being recorded on Wednesday, September 18th, 2019. Hello everyone, this is Nicholas Acosta and welcome to another video. Welcome to CSCB VIP, also known as Computer Science for Blind and Visually Impaired People. Guys, we are just hours away from iOS 13.0 being released to the public. Now, iOS 13 is packed with tons of new features, and I just want to talk about what you can expect and who this update is for, because this year it's a little bit different. I also want to talk about backing up your devices, and for those of you who were subscribed to the old channel, hopefully you are a subscriber to this new channel, because the old channel you won't be seeing any more videos, at least for now. I don't know what's gonna happen with the old channel, but I'm doing this video on this channel just because this channel has only been around for a couple of months. So we're talking about iOS 13 right now. The latest version of iOS is 12.4.1. So not all devices will be able to run iOS 13. So if you have an iPhone 5S, 6, or 6 Plus, you won't be able to use to run iOS 13. Also, if you have an iPad Air, the Air 2, or the 4th generation iPad mini, you won't be able to install iOS 13. Also, the iPod Touch 7th generation the iPod Touch 6th generation won't be able to run iOS 13. So only the 7th generation will. So if you have a 2nd generation Air or an iPad Air 2, iPad mini 4, or any other iPads, older iPads, they're not going to support iOS 13. Now, if you have one of the latest ones, like I have the 2016 iPad Pro 9.7 inch, that'll run the 12.9 inch, and the newer iPads, the 10.2 inch that was just released, the 10.5 inch iPads, those will be able to run iOS 13. So like I said, iOS 13 will be released tomorrow on the 19th, and just make sure for those of you who use VoiceOver, I always like to remind everyone to back up, but being that this channel is for people who are blind or visually impaired, that's what most of the videos that I'm going to be doing are for people who use Apple products or Android or in the future Mac and Windows, just computers in general. People who use assistive technology, they're going to want to know how to do these things, or they're going to want to keep these things in mind. So if you have iCloud storage, if you're paying for iCloud, that's great. If you aren't and you just have 5 gigabytes, but all of your apps and stuff and files are bigger than what you have available, then if you have a computer, or if any of your family members have a computer, if your parents have a computer, maybe you might want to back up your stuff to their computer, or use your own computer. You back up your stuff through all of your information through iTunes. If you have iCloud, then you can just do an automatic backup. Just make sure that your device is plugged in and connected to Wi-Fi, and then you're able to back your stuff up that way. That's going to take a little bit longer than using iTunes because you're going to be doing it over Wi-Fi, but you're going to want your information to be backed up just in case. In any event, in the event that you install iOS 13 and your device never turns back on, this will never happen. But if your device doesn't turn on for whatever strange reason, you'll still have a backup either in iCloud or in iTunes on your computer, where you'll be able to restore your backup to your last backup, and everything will be the way it was. Now, if you can't back up your phone, then you can still install the update. But if something does happen, God forbid, you'll have to take your device to an Apple store. Now, like I said, this doesn't really happen. We're just taking, safety precautions. That way you don't ruin your device. You don't lose any information on your devices. But I am going to say that things are possible because computers are computers. Now, I also want to say that the software for the Apple Watch, WatchOS 6, is in the GM Gold Master. That's the version. When I talk about right now, we're on iOS 13 GM or Gold Master, WatchOS GM. That's what it is, the Gold Master. The same one that's out is the same one that you'll be receiving tomorrow when they release these updates. So right now, for iOS 13 was in beta testing, public beta testing, and there was a beta test available for developers that are enrolled in the iOS developer program, the Apple developer program. That's what it's called. So if you were enrolled in that program, then you can either install it and you'll get early access to it, or you can join the public beta program once that beta was available for testing for public beta testers. But these are the final versions that will be released. So WatchOS 6, as far as I know, it'll be coming out tomorrow along with iOS 13. But I want to mention that for people who use assistive technology such as VoiceOver, or if they use keyboards on their iPads or on the phone or any Braille displays, just know that iOS 13, I wouldn't recommend you to install it on your devices just because of some of the issues that haven't been fixed. For those of you who have the latest version of iOS 12, I would stay with that because 13.1 will be released on September 30th, and this will be fixing all of the issues that are going to be that will be present when the update is released tomorrow, when iOS 13 is released. So for those of you who use assistive technology, don't install it. I don't recommend for you to install it until 13.1 is released on the 30th of this month. That's in exactly 12 days from now. So I also want to say that once you install 13.1, a lot of these issues, like I said, Apple is fixing all of these issues, and so you can install 13.1 and you won't have to worry. Now, does this mean that I'm not going to install it? Well, I have to install it because, I am a developer. I'm a developer, and I need to install this software. Now, for the iPads, iPad OS won't be coming out until September 30th. So for those of you who said, for those of you who are thinking, oh, but iOS 13 is coming out tomorrow. No, iOS 13 is coming out tomorrow, but for the phones, not for the iPads. So when iPad OS 13 is released, it'll be released along with iOS 13.1 for the phones, if that makes sense. So you have to wait in order to get the iPad software. You have to wait until September 30th. The scheduling is a little bit different this year, but Apple is, working on all of the issues, and right now this software isn't ready quite yet, and so they're going to be fixing a lot of issues that we've been having. For people that have been testing out the beta since the release in June, after Apple had their event in June, they released this beta. So that's really it. I just wanted to come here and let everyone know to install iOS 13.1 if they can, because there have been a few issues that were reported, and what I'm going to try to do is put a link from appleviz.com. They did an article on the problems that voiceover users are going to be facing when they update to the initial release of iOS 13. So you might want to keep this in mind. So just stay tuned. I'm going to be doing some other videos. I've just been very, very busy with school, and I just hope that everyone is having a wonderful day, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you.